Hey there, guys and gals of YouTube world. It is Wednesday, December 15th, year 2021. I'm sort of excited right now, and I'm going to tell you a little story about how basically $25 has turned potentially into millions of dollars. Millions from a decision to spend $25. All right, you ready? Sit back, put your seatbelt on, hold on tight. I'm going to tell you a story that covers 24 years roughly. Where's the 25? 24 years roughly in the making. All right, you ready? Here goes. Back in 1998, I was hired as a police officer in the Shenandoah Valley in Virginia. Within the first couple of days of getting hired, I was sitting talking to a lady. First name was Vicky. She had some position in the HR office. She showed me various paperwork, had me fill various paperwork out. And one of the forms I filled out was to start a 457 plan. I didn't realize at the time, but over the years I talked with her more. And it was sort of rare that anyone filled the paperwork out to start a 457 plan. Most of my peers in the city government did not do it. The police chiefs, the city managers, the department heads, they might do it because they had bigger paychecks. The average Joe did not participate. All right, as the years went on, some may have started it, but back when I did it, they weren't participating. All right, I started off, I believe, putting $25 a paycheck. I got paid twice a month, that's $50 a month. As the years progressed, I increased it at times. I think the most I ever put in was $175 a paycheck. That didn't last very long because life got expensive. I cut it back down. I'll probably cut it back down to $25, roughly. All right, when the time came for me to retire, I retired in 2018. I had bought my first rental property in January 2017. I had bought my second rental property in December of 2017. I then got the idea in my head I wanted to buy a multifamily. I knew I was retiring, and I knew that with the 457 plan that once you retire, you can withdraw the money with no penalties. All right, but if you withdraw it, then I have to pay tax on it. So I put that money into like a total stock market index fund or S&P 500 index fund, whatever the custodian was for the 457 plan. They had some sort of like broad-based S&P 500 type index fund. It did okay over the years. I never put a lot of money in, but I consistently put at least $25 a paycheck in. All right, the grand total was somewhere after 20 years, around about 65,000-ish. Somewhere around there. I don't remember the exact figure. All right, I took that dollar amount. They withheld taxes. They withheld federal tax. They withheld state tax. I got in the high 40s. I forget the exact figure, 46, 48, somewhere in there. That's what I got after they held taxes out. That amount I got in was pretty much 100% used to put the down payment down on my triplex. My triplex cost me just a couple $100 under $200,000. So a down payment on that was 40 grand. Closing costs were probably $6,000, $8,000. I don't remember exactly what they were. So that decision to start the 457 plan led to me buying the triplex. When I bought that triplex, it was sort of a dump. It had solid bones, but it was a dump. It was dirty, it was filthy. It had 3 not very good tenants in all 3 apartments. It took me a while. I got all 3 tenants out. I started renovating each apartment. 1, 2, 3. Each apartment got work done to the walls, holes repaired. Everything was 100% painted. New light fixtures, new ceiling fans were put in. New toilets were put in. It's 1.5 baths for each apartment, so 6 toilets in the building. I put 6 brand new toilets in. I put new vanities in. I put new medicine cabinets in. I put new ceiling fans in. I put 100% new flooring down, laminate flooring in 1 apartment, luxury vinyl plank in 2 apartments. I got new refrigerators in every apartment. I got new stoves in every apartment. I put brand new windows in the entire building. I put brand new water lines, PEX, in the entire building because it was Quest in there. I sealed the parking lots out in the front. I sealed the parking lots in the back. I had the fences repaired and painted, both front and back. Back had to be rebuilt, so it's new panels in there. And those all painted. I had tree limbs trimmed, and who knows what else I did. I fixed a Sewer pump, the basement apartment has a sewer pump. That was a couple $1,000s. Put a sewer pump because pump it up to street level. I did that. And there's other stuff it cost me. I spent a lot of money on that. I don't have the figure exactly in my head, but it was $60,000 to $70,000 that I spent completely renovating that building. So that means I have roughly, let's say $270,000 invested in the building. Once it was done, I got the idea in my head I wanted to do a cashback refinance. And I decided I wanted to do a cashback refinance on that triplex and also on the very first single family home I bought in that same general area. The single family home wasn't going to give me a lot. It had gone up in value a little bit, but it wasn't going to give me a lot back. Plus, I want to make the numbers work. When I do a cashback refinance, I still want positive cash flow, so I got to make the numbers work. But I got out, when I pulled money out, most of it from the triplex, a little bit from that single family home. It was, again, roughly $65,000. But I didn't have to have tax taken out this time because on cashback refinance, you don't pay tax on it. So I got roughly $65,000 out. That $65,000, I parlayed that figure into buying 9 houses, 9 rental properties. All right, I got good buys on all 9. Some of them need to work, but I still got good buys on all 9. I bought 9 rental properties. And I used seller financing on all 9 of them. Be that good or bad, that's what I did. Use seller financing. All right, so those 9 properties, I just closed on the last 5 of them, December 27th, 2020. The very end of 2020, I closed on the last 5. March of 2021, I bought this house down here in South Florida that some of you have seen, a couple of you have been to. Some of you have seen clips of the pool or something about this. But it's a nice house. I bought it for over $500,000. It may right now be worth roughly $750,000 because prices have gone up. Okay. Those 9 houses is what allowed me to buy this house here in Florida. If I didn't get those 9 houses, I wouldn't be buying this house here in Florida. If I didn't fix up that triplex, I could have done like every other landlord does with that triplex. I could have left it in the same condition, kept the same low quality tenants, and kept rents at like $600 that they were. Rents are now pushing $1,000, okay? And they can go up $1,100, $1,200, $1,300. They can keep going up. I changed that building to make it a nicer place. All right, so I helped the community. I also am helping the community where I bought the 9 houses. I'm fixing those houses up. All right, so now how can $25 turn into millions? Not only did I get 9 houses from that triplex, now I'm selling the triplex. I'm selling the triplex to one of my tenants. Because remember, I chose good quality tenants, and one of the tenants is a business owner. He's buying my building. The appraisal just came back. It appraised us slightly higher than my sale price, okay, which is good. So it should, the whole process, the loan, the mortgage should go through, the sale should take place. When it sells, and it should sell before the end of this year, like within 2 weeks, less than 2 weeks, we should close. When it sells, the proceeds that I'm getting, and I'm selling it for about $336,000. All right, it's a 3-unit apartment building, great shape, great condition. The gentleman that's buying it, he's going to house hack it. So he's living in one of the apartments. He'll keep living in one of his apartments. So the rent that he's currently paying me of $985 a month, he'll stop paying. That's $985. But it's more than that because it comes from his paycheck. So the taxes come out of that. So that's over $1,000 that he's saving by living in that as he's gaining equity that the other 2 tenants are paying his mortgage for him, and he's getting the mortgage paid down and getting the equity, okay? So that young man, he's in his mid-20s, is getting on the property ladder. He has a business, now he has real estate. He's just starting. He has his whole life ahead of him, all right? But what I'm gonna do with the proceeds I get, it's 6 figures, it's like a little bit over $100,000, maybe 110, 115,000. I'm taking that money and I'm putting it into my oil drilling adventure, okay? Because I couldn't find a multifamily that I liked. I'm not going to buy something that doesn't cash flow properly. So I am putting it into my oil drilling adventure. That oil drilling adventure should pay off quite well. I don't know exactly how it'll pay off, but it should pay off quite well. Those 9 houses, as time goes on, if I live another 25 years, 30 years, 50 years, whatever, if I keep those 9 houses, that's positive cash flow. Each house cash flows $250, $350, $400 per house. They cash flow well. That'll continue for the rest of my life. Or maybe I sell a house and parlay that into 2 or 3 more houses. Who knows? Okay. With this oil drilling adventure, that $100,000 may come back in the short term to be $500,000. And then I may reinvest most of that money. You see where this is going? This could turn into millions and millions of dollars as time goes on. It all started, and you've heard me talk about, and I got a serious look at my face kind of, you've heard me talk about making decisions, conscious decisions. Yes, $25. Yes, make your own cup of iced coffee for 20 cents and don't buy it at Starbucks. That $25 decision to start my 457 plan is what started the snowball. It started very small, but it got bigger over time. It got bigger, and it's growing. On a similar note, I'm buying another house up in the Chicago area now, and I should be getting in today my purchase agreement signed I've been told verbally the seller has accepted my offer. That purchase agreement should be coming back. Once it comes back, probably this evening, I'll get it back late today. Once it comes back, the lender I'm using, it's a non-QM lender. I can do everything online. It'll probably be tonight. I'll upload that document. I'll start filling out all the other paperwork. I'll pay the $560 appraisal fee so I can get the process going to buy that house, which we're supposed to close on tentatively January 31st. Okay, and that one's going to cash flow, according to my numbers, pushing $600, $590 or something. So it's good. It's good cash flow money. All right. So anyway, it all comes back to a decision I made when I was 30 years old. Yeah, I was 30 years old when I made that decision to invest $25 a paycheck into my 457 plan. So you see now why I beat the dead horse, whatever you call it, over and over and over and over and over. You got to get started. You got to take that first step. I told the missus while we're eating lunch that if I had never started that 457 plan, like the majority of my coworkers, what would we have done with that extra $25 a paycheck, $50 a paycheck, $75 a paycheck over 20 years? We would have spent it. It would have been absorbed into our budget. It might have paid for groceries. It might have paid for sports for the kids or clothing for the kids. We would have spent it. But by starting that $25, I'm not going out on a long, thin limb to say this. I'm not stretching the truth to say this. That decision to invest $25,000 could potentially turn into millions upon millions. $5, $10, $15, $20 million over the years. All because I took that first step. And I was slow. I was slow. It took me 25 years almost to get to where I'm at now. If you watch my videos, I challenge you, watch every video I got. Not for me. You're not going to get me monetized. I'm going to give this channel up. When I get it big, I know me. When I start getting more royalty here, I love helping people. If you're my buddies, male, female, that I've met through this YouTube channel, G Waters, we've emailed, Invest to Wealth, we've messaged and emailed, the ones in my mastermind group, I'll continue to help you if I can. But I want to live life. I want to get a boat. I want to sail the 7 seas. I want to travel. I want to get over to Europe. I want to get to Africa. I want to go different places. I want to live life. I want to give back to my community also. I'm thinking about contacting someone I know here in Florida who works in a prison. I may try to start going back inside of prisons to talk to inmates also, to try to help them out a little bit. I enjoy helping people. So I may keep this channel as time goes on. You'll still see me making daily videos for a while. And as time goes on, they may lessen, okay? Because all you got to do is watch my videos going back. You'll get everything you need to know. Everything. It's not rocket science. It's not hard. All it takes is the conscious decision up here to get started. Take that first step. Just take it. And it might be slow. You might get frustrated with your job. You might get frustrated with life. You might get set back sometime, but get back up and keep going. And just keep moving. Keep moving forward. And I will dare say a lot of you, if you do that, if you do it, and I'm not telling you to do it, it's your conscious decision to make a conscious decision to get started. If you get started, I'll be dead and gone. And maybe you'll remember, thank you, Maskey. You helped me out. All right? So anyway, Maskey's got to get along with enjoying life. All right. Y'all take care. Stay safe. Keep smiling. Just get started. Signing out.